And thank you for having me here. And so earlier this week, and then in a few weeks ago, actually, on the first night of Hanukkah, hundreds of anti-Semitic leaflets were distributed around neighborhoods in Beverly Hills. And as you said, these are leaflets that are making the absurd claim that Jews somehow or other are responsible for the spread of COVID.
Right. Now, let's talk about the investigation. Our police, how seriously are they taking this investigation and finding who's been distributing? In one of the communities, I have to imagine, has to be one of the most secure communities with police presence and security cameras.
Yes, we are a very secure community. We are a very safe community. But people here really, and I and the police, treat this so seriously. We happen to be a majority Jewish city, probably one of the few outside of Israel. And for many of us, either the residents themselves came to the United States fleeing persecution, or our parents or grandparents did. My grandparents came here fleeing persecution in Russia. So the United States was the place for us to be safe. And so to be the subject of anti-Semitic attacks here really is particularly horrific, particularly egregious. We do have a superb police force. The police are actively investigating leads, and we're hopeful that we are going to be able to track down who is responsible for distributing these horrific leaflets.
Right. And Mayor Wunderlich, I wonder if you could put it in the context of the entire issue of anti-Semitism, whether we've seen across the U.S. and in the Los Angeles area. For those who are saying, okay, it's a few leaflets, what's the problem? We did see in Los Angeles violent attacks on Jewish residents just last May when Israel had its operation in Gaza. We can't forget that. Of course, down the coast, the attack on the Poway synagogue, the fatal shooting of congregants there. So put it in how concerned are the residents there about what they're witnessing and then seeing it come to their doorstep, as it were?
I think we all do have to be concerned with the increase in hate crimes. There's hate crimes against a variety of groups, but in particular, there's an increase in hate crimes against Jews. There was a synagogue that was vandalized in Beverly Hills also. That probably was more than a year ago. But as a majority Jewish city, we are the target for these types of attacks. And as I've said, that because this had been regarded as our safe place, we want to do everything that we possibly can to continue to ensure our safety here, to continue to let people continue to feel that this is a safe place. This is a place where hate crimes will not be tolerated, and we will investigate them and we will prosecute them to the greatest ability that we can.
Right. Let me ask you, as I mentioned, certainly Beverly Hills has a kind of cachet. It's no coincidence that it would be the neighborhood would be targeted in this way, just because of the very image of Beverly Hills. And as I mentioned, the Jewish community there is quite prominent. I mean, talk about security, for example, for synagogues, for kosher restaurants, and other institutions you might have, Jewish institutions you have in your community.
Sure. And I don't want to get too much into details, but we do have a superbly equipped police force. We have a very large police force for a city our size. We've supplemented our police force by adding private security. In addition, we really make great use of technology. We have video cameras throughout the city, including focused on our religious institutions and our schools and actually all of our neighborhoods. We have a drone program. There are many, many things that we're doing to ensure that our city is safe, to monitor our streets, our religious institutions, and so on. And so people should know that if they are coming to Beverly Hills with ill intent, that we will find them and we will prosecute them.
Right. This is certainly a side of Beverly Hills that gets less reported than I said, the sort of glamour image.